So when I see this, I don't see like the culture that I see. I think like this is prosperity culture. This is rich culture. This is not our culture. This is not what we go around preaching, and this is not what we, as real LDS women, strive to be.
Interesting is that I actually know Whitney. That's crazy. I watched her grow up. Yeah.
It's the whole Utah culture of influencers, right? That is everywhere in Utah.
The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is a terrible, inaccurate name for the show. When people think that this show shows Mormon culture, they're absolutely wrong.
It's interesting that Alyssa says that it's shockingly accurate, but it's shockingly not accurate. Like I said, I mentioned, I know Whitney, I know Stephanie.
Turn it off, please. Go serve somebody.
So,
oh no, it's the secret revealed. Let's make a show about it, Brooke.
Secret admirer. I mean, we do stuff, right? We do stuff. And
he wrote back, he said, our lives are so secret that we literally invite everyone to come learn about our lifestyle.
No, as long as they only come on Mondays, because we sacrifice the goats on Tuesdays. So
got our scripture notes up and running. All of the scriptural references used in this episode will be brought to you by scripturenotes.com. For a free trial to Scripture Notes, please visit the link in the description.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another great episode of the Women of Ward Radio, or Ward Radio Women, whatever we are. And I've got with us today, we have Brooke, and we've got Brittany. And Brooke is sporting the beautiful yellow nails.
What?
Brittany is sporting beautiful pink nails. And I missed the memo. I have colored nails.
No nail.
So today we're going to do a little fun debunking. We've got some Secret Wives of Mormon Live stuff and also a reaction video from Alyssa Grenfell. So first, I want you to pull up the thumbnail from her video. This is a reaction to binge watching The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And I just want you to see the little words there where it says 5 stars, shockingly accurate. So Alyssa's opinion is that this show is shockingly accurate of what our lives are like. So throughout all her video, lots of comments, but I want to focus on this. Alyssa, thank you. Thank you so much for these 2 clips. Let's watch the first one.
I feel like when I watch reality TV show, I leave hating Whitney, but I also hate the feeling knowing that the producers didn't want me to like Whitney from the beginning, and so they edited it so that I wouldn't like Whitney. Not to say I think Whitney is a good person or likable, but just that you can tell by how they've put the clips together and how they've told the narrative that I'm not supposed to like Whitney, I'm supposed to have sympathy for Jen, and I'm supposed to think of Taylor as the comeback queen.
Interesting.
Okay, so very interesting. Yeah. Thoughts, Brittany, Brooke?
Well, interesting is that I actually know Whitney. That's crazy. I watched her grow up. Yeah, it's wild, but I do actually know her. I actually stood in her kitchen, the very kitchen that's in the show. So if you've seen the series, then and you see Whitney talking to her mom, I've been in that kitchen, talked to her mom. I know her mom. So I think that she's absolutely right. The producers are trying to pin Whitney to be the villain in the show, and it isn't accurate. It's not completely accurate about her. I think they just pin her to be the villain. I also think it's interesting that her snippet says that it's shockingly accurate, but she even says herself that it's not, because the producers want me to think bad things about Whitney, so that's interesting to me.
So
yeah, and when she is saying the producers edit it and they produce it to make the audience feel a certain way, it makes me like in the clip, in what I've seen when they're putting in Mormon things like, oh, here's your temple bag. Oh, let's talk about garments. So let's talk about this. It's like, how much of this is actually naturally coming from them, and how much of it is the producer saying, okay, carry this temple bag in. Okay, only pack 1 pair of garments, or okay, it's so contrived.
Well, also she says that online people can create a narrative to make you believe something.
Oh.
I wonder what Alyssa does.
Oh, wait, let's watch this second clip from Alyssa about that very thing. Again, thank you for this clip. Before we watch it, just the little background is that she says, again, talking about how false reality TV is, she says that she has been approached by producers of reality TV, specifically this one who takes married couples who have left a religion together and wants to have them go on dates with other people to see if they're compatible.
Sounds wholesome.
Sounds very wholesome.
Really wholesome.
Sign me up. Right. Sign me up to watch that. And so she says, obviously, I'm not going to do that. And I said no. Okay, so this is what she says after that.
The idea that I would go on camera so that my husband and I can go on dates with different people when we have 2 kids and we're in love, it seems like so contrived to create drama. And their whole goal is to just get as many people crying and screaming on camera as possible. And so when I think about how people have approached me with casting, which is usually to make people look bad, especially coming from Mormonism, look behind the times, look too overly traditional, look like a wallflower, look repressed, they're obviously setting up the whole show to make you look like you're kind of at a disadvantage in some way and to exploit that disadvantage as much as possible. So I think a lot of times reality TV feels very exploitative, and I also feel like it's it's meant to manipulate our emotions to feel a certain way towards certain characters.
Interesting.
I couldn't have said it better, Alyssa. There you go.
Alyssa, I'm turning this back on you. Are you a producer? Are you a producer of a reality show of Mormons? Am I a star? Is Brooke and Brittany a star? All of my friends are stars in this show that you are producing. Everybody that I love. You are manipulating your audience emotions with your producing to make them feel a certain way towards our character, towards our religion. We can easily take your quote, Alyssa, and plug in the word religion. Producers mean to manipulate our emotions and to make us feel a certain way towards a certain religion. So thank you for exposing yourself, Alyssa, as the producer of your reality social media war against Mormons.
And I would just say, Alyssa, do you want a hug? Because I really feel like you might need one. Because this isn't about a religion. This is about your potentially own personal experience, and you're taking it out on all of the LDS wives, all of the LDS women. And I personally don't like that, but I think you just need a hug. I'm here. Come on.
I agree. I'm reading your book, Alyssa, How to Leave the Mormon Church, and we're going to cover that in future episodes. And I also want to give you a hug. You've had a really hard life, and you're dealing with large issues. I hope you get help. I'd love to help if I can. I believe with all my heart that the gospel of Jesus Christ can help you too. Please stop attacking us, because what you're saying is manipulating the emotions of your viewers and is false.
Yeah. Alyssa, I wish you the best, but I'm not a hugger, so I will not be hugging. Sorry.
You're going to give her a fist bump? Fist bump, Brittany?
Probably not. Maybe. I don't know.
So I just want to talk. So I asked a bunch of my friends. I posted on Facebook. I sent text. I said, can you tell me, real LDS women, can you tell me the real secret lives of LDS wives? And I was flooded with some funny and with some very touching replies. So for anyone who wants to know the real lives, the real secret lives of LDS wives, women, here's some goodies. So these are some fun ones. Doorbell ditch surplus zucchinis from your own garden. I actually had a couple of people say that. One of them leaves them in people's cars during church.
A zucchini?
Doorbell ditching.
Yes, it's zucchini season. Oh. There's some large zucchinis, and they're showing up on people's doorsteps and in people's cars. Pickleball is a big one. When the husband's away, when the kids are at school, pickleball.
Oh my gosh, everyone plays pickleball. Everyone.
I've never played. I feel left out.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Ward Radio tournament. Okay. Here we go.
Like DM me. Let's go play pickleball. I could use I could use getting
You're
out.
You're not a real member until you play pickleball. Okay.
I guess not.
Date nights at Costco. Eating ice cream with husband snuggled in a blanket after the kids go to bed. That is really sweet. Making 3 extra dinners for sick families that day. I love this one. Enlist in the death squad. A member told me this, that her friend calls the Relief Society the Death Squad because we are so fast and efficient and amazing at helping grieving families.
Aww.
We are there on their doorstep helping them. And then at the funeral, we are there with flowers, with setting up. Like, we recently had a death in our family, a tragic, way too young death. And we just showed up. I mean, the Relief Society did everything, decorating, food. They watched our kids for hours for the funeral service, the graveside service. It was amazing. So we, in our secret lives, we are part of the death squad. I love this. Prepping bags for church. When everyone's asleep, you're prepping your purse, you're prepping your lesson bag, you're prepping the toddler bag. Going to the dollar store to stock up on cheap food containers. Oh, searching for shoes. That is a big thing we do, searching for shoes, especially Sunday morning. Filling the shopping cart completely full with your own kids so that strangers look at you and ask, oh, where are you going to fit your groceries? So we do with our secret lives. Oh, I love this one. Sending sparklers to teenage son on a mission so he could celebrate the 4th of July, and then finding out later that is totally illegal to send combustibles in the mail like that. And then there were so many,
I love that.
so many
I have
touching
a firework
ones.
story too, but I'm not going to share.
Okay. You're gonna get arrested.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're not going to talk
Situation.
about that. But if my oldest daughter's listening, she's going to go, oh yeah, don't share. But we do a lot of stuff as LDS moms. We do so many things for people, our kids. Let's not, and I don't know if I should share this, but sorry kids, I am your secret admirer on Valentine's Day.
So, oh no, it's the secret revealed. Let's make a show about it, Brooke.
Secret admirer. I mean, we do stuff, right? We do stuff, and then people do stuff for us. There's so many things that happen. Like when I got COVID, I had everything I needed at my doorstep. Of course, nobody's coming in because that would be uber scary. But my son, how's he going to eat? I can't even get out of bed. And here's all this lovely stuff that I need to help me feel better, and food. Like, this is what the secret lives of LDS wives will do. And it's not sexy. So nobody's blowing it up on television or, like platforms or streaming platforms, and nobody's talking about it because it's not uber sexy, but we need it.
Let's pull up those pictures.
Yeah. Oh,
you're totally right. Okay. So pull up those pictures. So when I was looking at that famous, ad of the Secret Wives, where they're all wearing white in front of the not LDS stained glass window, I was like, where have I seen that before? Where have I seen a lineup like that before? And then it hit me. The Kardashians. So I found these pictures. I hope you can see them. There's juxtaposing the women on the show next to the Keeping Up with the Kardashians, or whatever that show's called. Like, same poses, same faces. And then also I found a picture of them at the baby shower in this TV show, the baby shower. And then also the Kardashians at a baby shower. It's like, it's exactly the same, all the same pictures, all the same thing. So what you were saying, Brooke, sex sells, right? Mm-hmm. And if you go to the next picture, this is a collage I made of beautiful LDS families and women who are taking care of them. And this would never sell. You would never see this in a TV show. Mm-hmm. This isn't flashy, but this is beautiful. And this is what's fulfilling. And this is what's meaningful. And this is what brings joy through life and throughout eternity.
Yeah. Normal and boring is not entertaining.
Mm-mm.
But if you spin a narrative like Alyssa was teaching us, that's entertaining. That's clicks and views. That's interesting.
Yeah.
She's very talented for making such a normal, wholehearted religion.
Yeah.
Seems so silly. Okay. So I also want to talk about something else. Something that people are doing with the show is they're making it seem like, oh, this is so normal in Mormon culture. Like, we all have these secret lives, that we're two-faced, right? That we, that like on the outside, we look like we're all being obedient, we're all following rules, but really it's causing so many problems, and we all have these secret lives. I And so I just want to talk about the culture that's being showed in this TV show. So when I see this, I don't see like the culture that I see. I think like this is prosperity culture. This is rich culture. This is not our culture. This is not what we go around preaching, and this is not what we, as real LDS women, strive to be. So I had this thought. So if you want to pull up the first little diagram. So it starts with a woman who does not have money in her wallet. She has to work. She has to do her own cleaning. She has to do her own shopping. She does her own cooking. She takes care of her own kids. She does her own yard work. And her husband, I mean, she can be married, not married. Like they're together on this, right? In a normal family, they are doing these things, right? They are living, they are working to live, right? But when you get to a point where you have some excess money, if you go to the next page, all those same tasks you can hire out. So it's like you're just getting a lot of money, right? So you don't have to work as much. You hire cleaning ladies, you have your groceries delivered, you are, eating out for food, you have childcare, and you have a yard service. So because all those things you're paying other people to do because you have the money, you now have all this time. So when you're left with this time, what do? There's two choices. And I'm sure you guys know people who take the two roads. One of the roads is using your time and your resources to bless others. So when I was there at the book launch on Tuesday, I spoke with this couple, and they did really well in their businesses. They started many businesses. He started getting sick. He sold them all. And they said, so we have this time and we have this money. What are we going to do? They started a nonprofit to help families whose babies with stillborn babies or her babies die in the hospital. And they provide clothing for the baby. They provided photographers for the family. They even have a woman who makes mini coffins. So they are very heavily involved in this nonprofit. They also, because her father is from Peru, they have been to Peru and they have helped build water tanks and in schools and houses. They are blessing Peru. So they are using all this time and all this money that they have now to bless others. When other people, the other road you can take when you're in that situation, which I believe these women and other people do, and we see it on reality show, is they fill that time. If you pull up that graphic again, they fill it with, injecting things into your face, going shopping, way too much time spent on personal beauty. Like, I'm all about looking good. I'm all about self-care. I think there's an extreme, traveling. And this is my favorite. I hope you can see on the screen. Sitting on the couch and gossiping. I feel like that is so much of the show, is just sitting on the couch and gossiping. Like, I can't even remember the last time I did that. When my ministering sister said, how can we best serve you? I was like, I don't like sitting on the couch and talking. Like, we can talk at church. We can talk as we're doing yard work together. We can fold laundry together, but I don't just want to sit on the couch and talk. And that is so much of this show. In fact, my best friend Tikla, you guys know Tikla, we are so busy helping our children, helping the community, serving in church, building people around us. We get 1 hour a week together, 6 a.m. walking. Like, that is our time to be together. So I think that when people think that this show shows Mormon culture, they're absolutely wrong. This shows a culture of having too much time on your hands, too much time to just be mean.
Well, and I 100% agree. And I also find it interesting that they're leaving out valid happenings of people on the show. Like I said, I mentioned, I know Whitney, I know Stephanie, and have it be known, Stephanie is deep dived for, I'm not going to say 100 years because I don't want to point out her age, but for a very long time, she has served in the foster parent community and has had multiple children in her home. I'm not going to call her out for how many kids, but let me tell you, it's a lot. And she serves and has continued to serve her own community, let alone. And then Whitney, who is side by side next to foster children, has also split her time with her parents to other children and has also assisted in that. So nobody's talking about that, about Whitney. Nobody's talking about that, about her mother. So, and that's just one thing that goes on in that household. So it's not sexy. Like I said, they're not going to talk about that. So all of these things and all the service that's given to those around, nobody's talking about it. Now, I don't know the other girls in the show, so I couldn't tell you that. But it's interesting that Alyssa says that it's shockingly accurate, but it's shockingly not accurate, not about the girls, not about what's happening surrounding that, and not about what happens in the secret life of an LDS wife. It's not accurate. Sorry, it's not.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys see they're getting a season 2?
Yes, that just was announced, I believe.
Yeah.
Great. Some of my other great responses about our secret lives. Jacob Hansen, he wrote back, he said, our lives are so secret that we literally invite everyone to come learn about our lifestyle. Like when our churches say visitors welcome, we mean that. Anyone can come in our chapels. Please come. And we have the most open homes. We have the most open lifestyles. Okay.
So are you inviting Hulu into your home? Are you going to be like a spinoff from Secret
No, they wouldn't
Lives?
want to come in my home.
Come on. Let it, Hulu.
My home wouldn't sell. No one would watch it.
As long as they
It's
only
pretty
come on Mondays, because we sacrifice the goats on Tuesdays. So
who drinks the
as long as
blood?
they're not there on Tuesdays, we'll be good.
That's a good point, Brittany.
Sacrificing of the goats.
Oh, I love this. Austin said, secretly scrubbing the church toilets because we don't hire professional church cleaners. I was at the church today teaching my free music and movement class for moms and their kids that I've been doing for 13 years. Not for money, not for glory, but because I genuinely just love moms and I love seeing their kids get happy. And there was a lady there with a vacuum, one of those like Ghostbuster vacuums on her back, vacuuming all the pretzels, all the goldfish, all the crumbs and crayon wrapper pieces off the sacrament meeting or off the chapel floor to get ready for the church. So like that's what she's doing in her secret
I do
life.
have a bone to pick with that. Okay, why can't we hire professional cleaning service?
Oh, I do.
Really?
Sign me up.
Yeah, like my kid is really going to be deep cleaning the nursery toys. Like, let's be real, right? They can't clean their room. We're going to go clean the church. I don't know. I don't like that aspect and whatever.
It's true. I think professionals would do a much better job, but it is nice to feel some ownership and stewardship. I think that when members know what
I said, fine, Charlotte.
Okay.
Well, I think it's important to know from fasting, we're saving that money to help those, and then we're going to go give it to the cleaners. I like your idea, Brittany, but I think somebody might go hungry.
Yeah. So
fine. I'll clean. I just got the text. I'm supposed to go there on Saturday.
I know. I'm always out of town. Time to clean. Ooh, look at the time. It's. I'm going to be out of town that week.
We have to justify already so many uses for our tithing. I think justifying professional cleaners would be a hard thing to justify. And then the other reason is when members know that like the person they're sitting next to is going to clean up their mess, I think it just helps us take care of the chapel like initially better, right? If we know that if it's not some like faceless janitor cleaning up after us.
I don't know. When I'm like sweating and like cleaning those door mirrors, right, on a Saturday morning, and then Sunday, some little nursery kid is putting her hands all over it. I'm like, girl, just you wait till you're old enough to clean. Like, you will not be doing that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll get off that now.
Okay. No, it is amazing how many like full handprints you can, full handprints you can see on those glass doors.
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to pull up the quotation by Brigham Young. Well, first, the short one. The short one, being wealthy, this is from, where'd it go? It was in the Ensign magazine in 220, look it up, a few years ago. Being wealthy is not morally wrong. The danger, as the Book of Mormon repeatedly emphasizes, is that when people become wealthy, they sometimes forget the Lord and his commandments. So President Brigham Young said, the worst fear that I have about members of this church is that they will get rich in this country, forget God and his people, wax fat, and kick themselves out of the church and go to hell. This people will stand mobbing, robbing, poverty, and all manner of persecution and be true. But my greater fear for them is that they cannot stand wealth, and yet they have to be tried with riches.
Ooh, and that was written in 1936? Is that what I...
Right. Well, when the valley was destitute when it was a barren desert and people were struggling. He says, we can deal with persecution. We can deal with starvation. We can deal with robbing. I mean, those things try people and can bring them closer together. He's like, but I really worry about prosperity, because when you're prosperous, you forget the Lord. And we see that in the Book of Mormon again and again and again. And so when I see a show like this, I'm just sad. I think they had so much goodness. They were so close to the Lord. And then they got a little distracted with fortune, fame, prosperity. So when I want to say to the producers of this show that this is not our culture, and when you say that that's our culture and this is us, that's wrong. And then also my issue is with when people say, like Alyssa Grenfell was saying this and other people say, it's because of all the restrictions of the church, because of all the rules, because of their doctrine, because of this and because of that, that these girls and other LDS people have these problems. And I take deep issue with that, because that's not true. Nowhere in the church are those problems taught to do. And if they say, well, this is what I heard, or I'm sorry, I'm speaking in generalities, but often when you're misconstruing what the church is saying, that's because a parent didn't maybe understand it or had a strange standard, or the worldly influence is coming in with the church doctrine. Anyway, my point is the gospel of Jesus Christ is perfect. And my invitation to every one of those lovely, beautiful women who are my sisters on that show is that the gospel of Jesus Christ can help you. It can help all those messes in your lives. It can help your relationships. It can help your family. It can help everything. So my invitation to them and to everyone watching this is to more fully embrace the gospel of Jesus Christ, because it holds the power to make a fulfilled, happy life, beautiful, lasting, strong relationships.
Well, and also, okay, I haven't seen the show, but Brooke, is it safe to say the girls on the show, they all are kind of struggling with something?
Yes. And
wow.
I binged it. I couldn't set it down, so I watched the whole first season.
So it's almost like maybe your life wouldn't be such a hot mess if maybe you came back to God and worshiped him more fully, and the way that he has shown us how he wants to be worshiped.
Hey, mic drop.
Yep, that's it. That's
obviously,
it. So
what they're doing is
invitation.
not working if they're still a hot mess struggle bus. You know what I'm saying?
So maybe season two is they're going to fully embrace the gospel of Jesus Christ, follow him more fully, and it's going to come to a very happy but boring end. Yeah. And season 2 will be the end.
Like, go serve someone.
That's my prediction.
Go put zucchini in someone's car. Like, go out and do service. Stop.
I guarantee that that's happening.
Get off that couch and go serve someone.
But I guarantee that's happening, and the producers aren't showing it. I guarantee it. So
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
So, I mean, just watching each and every episode, I found it interesting that they would snippet pictures of churches that aren't even LDS. They also snippet church tops that aren't LDS because it has the cross on the top. And also multiple times throughout each episode, most episodes, I should say, there's stained glass postings of Jesus, like Jesus inside the stained glass. That's nowhere.
Which it should be. Like, to be honest, our buildings, they're a little boring.
I would agree. It should be, but they're making it look a certain sort of way and generalizing stuff that isn't. I think I saw the Angel Moroni one time, but I think they didn't show it again because most people don't know what that is unless you're LDS. So then I'm like, so we're just pushing a narrative to make LDS women look crazy, which isn't the case. And I think those girls are probably very sweet and just going through a thing or two. And but like to Charlotte, your point, maybe they have too much money or time on their hands, and so they just can be mean to each other. And it just really reminded me of Mean Girls, honestly.
It's the whole Utah culture of influencers, right? That is everywhere in Utah. Most influencers are in Utah. Like, that's a Utah culture thing. Now there's a side on TikTok of de-influencing where people are like, this is my messy house and these are my brown oak kitchen cabinets and they're not stark white, right? Like, I don't know.
My stretch marks and my gray hair. Oops,
exactly.
Here it is.
I love that. That's great.
Like, I'm eating mac and cheese out of the pot, you know? Like, I don't know. Whatever.
Okay, let's end with a few alternate titles because we've now established The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is a terrible, inaccurate name for the show. So let's rename it Secret Lives of Rich Wives with a Camera. It's a good one.
Yep.
Or Secret Lives of Dramatic Wives with Too Much Time.
Ooh.
Or Totally Public Lives of Botox Wives.
Ooh. Or, ooh.
I do like Botox.
I like that one. I do like that one.
Of over Botox.
Okay.
Overly Botox.
Okay. All right.
Yes. To beyond real face.
Okay.
Botox.
We just need to give out hugs. We're ready. We got hugs for all you guys. We're just gonna
except Brittany.
Hug it
She's
out.
giving out.
Yay!
I'm not a hugger. Like even my best friend, I'm like,
we'll wave. Brittany, hug.
All right.
Hug.
Well, everybody, thanks for tuning to our show. Turn it off, please. Go serve somebody. Go do something to follow Jesus Christ more.
Yes.
And thank you for tuning in for this and more. Look at wardradio.com.